I'm going to stand up and walk around to do this. If he makes a move on me, someone let me know. Following kids, animals, and farting robots. They all brought toys.
Doesn't get better, David.
They all brought toys, I brought slides. Some of you probably already know the story of the paradox of choice study. The study, just to give a quick overview of it, 2 days in a row in a grocery store, they put out jams on a table and let people sample them. First day they put out just 5 or 6 jams. Second day they put out a whole table full of jams. And they gave you a $1 off coupon so that if you wanted to buy the jam, you got a discount. And what they discovered was, with 6 jams, people tasted less, but they bought more. With a whole table full of jams, they just got overwhelmed. They didn't quite know what to do. Now, think about that in kids' lives. Think about jam as much as you want, as many as you want, all the time. It's going to be confusing for them. Now, if you're wondering if you wandered into the wrong talk, if maybe you're in food tech now, let me relate this to kids' lives. I mean, what kids really want most of the time is a peanut butter sandwich with good old grape jam. But what they've got is this array of things. How does this relate to what we're talking about today? That's kids' jam today. Kids' jam today is entertainment media, and they have all that they can consume all the time. Amazing variety. With that infinite choice, they have become their own commissioners, their own schedulers, their own programmers, and for the most part, that's made them happy consumers. But for a lot of kids, it's just too much jam. So the result is that we're finding, I should explain, Dubit is a research and strategy company and also a digital studio. So we build games, apps, virtual worlds, virtual reality, but we also do a lot of research about how kids are interacting with games, toys, apps, virtual reality, virtual worlds, all of that today. And what we're finding consistently in our research is an increasing number, actually we're up to close to 80% now, find that they have trouble finding what they're interested in when they want it. And we don't think that's because it's not there. There is so much there that there's going to be something there for every kid. We think much more likely it's that they're overwhelmed and they just don't even know where to start to find what it is that they're looking for. Now here's the interesting thing that we're finding with that, and we're calling it emotional scheduling. And that is that in the absence of being dependent on someone else's schedule, you no longer have to watch SpongeBob at 4 o'clock on Thursday or you've missed it. In the absence of being dependent on someone else, kids are creating their own schedules for themselves. They're organizing their days based on time of day, which relates to what they've been doing and what they're about to be doing, and all that ties in with their emotional state. A kid's emotional state when they first wake up in the morning is very different from when they come home at the end of the day, for example. Some of this, I think, is a little obvious. I mean, if you look at this chart, 0 to 2-year-olds are more available during the day than 3 to 5-year-olds until the 3 to 5-year-olds come home from preschool. So you see a little more media use overall. By the 0 to 2 during the day, 3 to 5 takes over in the afternoon. But you can also see the patterns of the day that really, make a lot of sense. It sort of rises in the afternoon and then slides towards bedtime. Let's break this down into kids' moods and motivations. For the littlest kids, for the 0 to 5-year-olds, the household in the morning is buzzing. Everyone is trying to get ready to head off to school, head off to preschool, head off to the office. So kids that age are likely to kind of retreat to themselves, maybe pick up a tablet, and that's their time when they go to some of their favorite series, or they watch something that's not too long because they know they might get interrupted, but they're kind of retreating from the madness of the morning. During the afternoon, they start to look more toward they're guided more by parents or by adults toward learning and creativity tools. And then it kind of slides into the evening as they get ready for bed into more of a lean back kind of experience. They may be looking at unboxing videos. They may be reading ebooks with a parent. Often it's accompanied media at that point. If you look at older kids, the 8 to 10-year-olds, they don't have much time in the morning. They're getting ready to go to school, so if there's anything at all, it's likely to be snacking. In the afternoon, they may be with friends, so it's going to be social. It's going to be sharing favorite videos. It's going to be things that they can pass back and forth, or it may be that they will dive deep into something that they love, something like Minecraft at that point. And in the evening, they too want the kind of chill-out media that sort of more, that's their opportunity for more long form. They're less likely to be interrupted. Now let me connect all this back to the idea of emotional scheduling, back to children's media content creators, back to device creators. Why does this fit in with what we're talking about today? Good producers, good developers have always known that you have to keep a vision on a child's, on your users, the age, the abilities, the interests, when you're designing children's media or technology. But today, that's not necessarily enough. Whether you're making games, apps, videos, content on demand services, even a new AI or smart home device, you need to understand not only who you're making it for, but when, where, how, and why they're likely to be using it. You have to market it that way as well. You have to know that a child is most likely to be using what you're making in the morning, in the afternoon, what kind of mood they're likely to be in. You also need to think differently about engagement and audience. I think too many of us are still counting numbers and thinking, oh, well, if we got more, then that's better. I think we need to form a deeper connection with our audiences. We need an ongoing conversation with a smaller audience. That may be more important than a bigger audience that doesn't interact with you or plays with what you're doing but just doesn't care about it that much. This is going to become more and more important over time as we see the number of subscriptions, the number of paid services rise, and families start having to make more decisions about what they're going to keep and what they're going to let go. It may not be the thing that has the most content. It may not be the thing that's the least expensive. It may well be the thing that they keep that their child has the deepest emotional connection with. This is all a little bit of kind of back to the future. We've known some of this stuff for a long time. Years ago, Nickelodeon, when they ran the Noggin channel, scheduled it like a day at preschool. They thought about their schedule as being like a child's day at preschool, and they had the ebbs and flows that a kid would experience in a typical morning. Even today, the Sprout channel has a morning program and an evening program that's designed for the kid who's just waking up, kid who's just going together. In Denmark, since we were talking about Denmark before, the Ramasyang channel has, overnight, they have just a video of all their favorite characters sleeping. So that if a kid turns on the television in the middle of the night, they know, oh, it's time to go to bed. My favorite characters are going to bed. Time for me as well. All this says that kids come to see media as trusted friends. It's predictable, it's accessible, it's easy to use. One last note on all this. We are seeing, this is new research, this isn't even published yet. I just got this slide yesterday on my way here. We are seeing kind of a peak in tablet and phone access. Kids are not just access, but also use. Kids are using tablets and phones for specific purposes, but that's starting to plateau. And interestingly enough, we are seeing them return to the big screen television. As more and more TVs are connected, they're not necessarily watching live TV or the scheduled services, but they are returning to the big set in the corner. We already have seen them go back to physical books from ebooks, so we may be seeing kind of a back to the future move here. I'm not saying all this because emotional scheduling is supposed to make you think, oh, we need to go back to a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. In fact, with all these, I am the commissioner, kid is commissioner services, there are a lot of good reasons why all that is going to keep growing, why it's going to be here to stay, why it's going to be really important to kids. I think what I want you to take away from this is an urgent call that we really need to know who, what, when, where, and why kids are using our technology, our content, so that we can target it better at them and make sure that we are emotionally connecting with our audiences. And with that, I am eager to hear what the rest of our group has to say.
And since the fire came up, let's learn about what's new from Amazon.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Happy to be here today. So I'm going to talk real briefly about our Fire Kids Edition tablet. This is not a toy. This is actually the same Fire Edition hardware underneath the hood that we sell to adults as well. So it's a super high-powered tablet if you take the case off. But we've done some really unique things with the Kids Edition that makes this really magical for kids. And one of the key things that we set out to do when we really went down this road a couple of years ago is to try to create something that kids can be completely independent with. We talk a lot about kid-led discovery. So we wanted to create something that didn't require a parent to sit there and handhold and discover things and open things and close things and really walk the kids through it. We want to empower kids within the rules that are appropriate for the family, of course, to really discover their own universe. And as we've seen, that universe continues to expand with things like controllers that are required for your drone, or the Lego Boost app. Kids need a device that is appropriate for them in order to run these sorts of applications.
So can I do Lego Boost on that?
You certainly could. Yeah, this is an Android tablet. You could install Lego Boost or any other Android application on this. Once it's available, for sure.
That's a high five.
Yeah.
We want competition. We want competition with Apple because we need affordable options that are solid and droppable. Right?
Whoops. Yeah, so this is really designed to be obviously affordable. This sells for $80. This particular one's a Kids Edition tablet. It's targeted at kids aged 3 through 12. And one of the best things about it, in addition to being indestructible and having a 2-year guarantee, so if anything does go wrong in 2 years, we replace it for free, it also comes with a year of free time unlimited. So we have a team of people who go out and license all of the top premium kids properties. And this is like a Prime Video subscription. We're doing this all year long and constantly adding more and more good stuff for kids. And kids have unlimited access to that. And there's a very kid-friendly interface through which kids, even down to like 2, 3, 4 years old, who don't yet know how to read or don't know their numbers, can recognize IP, recognize characters that they know, brands that they know, and just through a couple of taps immediately discover.
Do you want to show that, or do you have anything else on the PowerPoint on this?
I don't have any more PowerPoint slides, so.
Let's show that if you like.
We can try. It's probably going to be hard to see.
It's good to see.
Yep, so this is the characters interface.
Thanks, guys.
So a child can recognize, they might recognize Disney, they might recognize trains, and through a very pictographical interface, they can see all of the apps, books, videos, and games that are related to that character, find what they want, and really discover amongst the 13,000 different premium digital properties that we've licensed for them, discover what's appropriate for them and get the most out of it. So there's lots of educational content in here. There's over 5,000 books. There's learn to code apps. There's educational reading apps and math apps and all sorts of good stuff that are important to parents, but also very enriching.
Kurt, I am a reviewer and I have to do this, and you are Amazon. So when this came out a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago,
yep.
I compared it to being at the all-you-can-eat buffet with a little tiny tray. You couldn't fit anything on, and then parents had to come in and delete the stuff, and it created sort of this hey mom, hey dad thing.
Yep.
So, and if don't take my word for it, read the reviews on Amazon.com.
Yep.
What have you done to address that?
Yeah, we've done a couple of things. So first of all, we increased it from 8 gig to 16 gig.
Hooray! So the tray's a little bit bigger, but still, that's not a whole lot of movies.
Well, we also didn't increase the price when we did that. And then we also added an SD card slot. So parents can buy a 32 gig SD card slot.
This is bigger news than you think, folks.
So
it's a micro SD card, which can get up to like 128 gigs.
Yep, so you can add as much as you want.
So I just like to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was important. Good. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Anything else?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, be happy to take any questions, and feel free to talk to me afterwards as well.
Let's get Square Panda in, and then 4 minutes and 53 seconds.
I've got 4 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yes, sir. What do you got?
Well, let's see if we've got the Square Panda up here.
Oh, there it is. You did.
There we go.
Slide. There
okay. Well, thank you very much for inviting me to speak at Kids at Play. We're focused on an area that should be front and center of every parent's concerns as their child grows up, which is acquiring literacy skills at the earliest possible age. But we're doing it under a platform that is fun and game-based. So children ideally won't even realize they're acquiring these skills as they utilize our products. And the reason why this is important is because current research in early literacy shows that in the first 7 years of life, 85% of the brain's functionality, the synaptic connections that are made during this period, happen in that period of time. So introducing the fundamental skills, pattern recognition, sound association, what's called phonemic awareness with each letter, how you join those letters together to create phonemes and blended sounds, and then how you bring all of that together to create and recognize words on a repetitive basis is absolutely key. And if you think this is just an issue that should concern parents of dyslexics, like my daughter is dyslexic, or parents from lower income demographics, you're wrong. 66% of children in the United States are not reading fluently by the 4th grade. That covers all economic strata. What does that mean? Longitudinal studies show that 34% of children that are reading fluently go on to college, have successful educational trajectories. The 66% that aren't rarely get up into that 34% unless their parents are affluent and can afford tutors in private schools. So this is a very serious problem for the information age and the US economy. So we have to address this, and public schools and private schools around the country recognize this and are shifting funds to pre-K, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade to address that. And this is the arena that Square Panda plays in. So we've created a multi-sensory, we've taken the latest research. We work with Stanford University very closely. The head of our architecture of our curriculum is Professor Bruce McCandless at Stanford, who heads up the Science of Learning group. And we've taken the latest understanding of how the brain actually creates neurological connections to form the competency of reading, to create a whole platform. And we'll demonstrate a product here that is, you'll see a hardware product that actually has physical letters. And why physical letters? Because research shows that multisensory, which is tactile, combined with visual, with auditory, creates the strongest neurological reactions during this formative period of time. And so what we've done, can we do a little demo here? Yeah. Is we've created a whole variety of games. For example, this is the exploratory game that was created based on, we're missing the R.
Oh, we don't have an R.
Did you have the R? Yeah.
You know, if you don't have an R...
Okay, wait a second.
I'm sorry, I'm playing.
We got an R. Here we go.
But basically, these are physical plastic...
So we come with 45 letters. I've got a small subset of it. And so it's based on a game that I used to play with my daughter where she could write out any series of letters and I'd have to pronounce it. And one of the interesting discoveries in that process is the nonsense words were super fun for her. But buried in those nonsense words were actual phonetic lessons, because even nonsense words, here I'll turn up the volume, create a phonetic experience. So for example, you put down on the tray any series of letters, press the magical chameleon's belly, he belches out the word, goes through a phonetic expression.
Rita.
Okay? And then if you come across a real word, like red, so that was a nonsense word, doesn't really exist. So you didn't get a unique reaction. But when you land on a real word, watch what happens. You get a visual reinforcement, what's called in research semantic reinforcement, and then the chameleon turns red and celebrates it. So the child gets this experience that's unique and gets the ability to learn, very important, through trial and error and recovery and exploration.
Can I do Andre?
You can do Andre.
All right.
You can also, with your smartphone, we have a smartphone app, take pictures of siblings, brothers and sisters, the dog, and also entered their names, which wouldn't be in our cloud-based lexicon of all the words and images, and augment that cloud database.
Are we ready?
Go for it.
This is a big thing about Square Panda you need to know about.
This is our personalization feature.
So who's Andre? Andre Agassi. And he happens to be on our board of directors and one of our biggest investors. And if you aren't familiar with Andre Agassi, outside of tennis playing, he has been involved in education for the last 20 years. He's opened up 2 college preparatories here in the Las Vegas area, in the most economically challenged areas of Las Vegas, and has been able to graduate, I think, over 3 classes. 85% went on to college. So he's been very passionate about education post his tennis career. And he's got a heck of a backhand.
He does. And so this personalization being fun, because the children love to enter their own names and see their own pictures come up, is what's called personalization of the curriculum. And research again shows that if you utilize the words the child hears with the greatest frequency every single day, those create the most powerful curriculum experiences. Again, it's playful, it's fun, but behind the scenes there's deep research, educational research that we invest in and roll into and integrate into our products.
Okay.
And also, we're here at CES and we're announcing that we started off in the iOS platform and we're now Android, and we'll be rolling out Android, and we look forward to integrating the Fire tablets into our system.
All right. Thank you, guys. And we need to bring up the next panel, but amazing.